in depth on the Odyssey. You know, for those that don't know, the Odyssey has been ingrained in my DNA since I was a youngling. I mean, literally, I read Homer's Odyssey. I read the Iliad. You know, my dad made me watch the old claymation joints. You know, of the Odyssey.
I've always been more of a Roman guy myself. I love the Greek culture, but I've always been more of a Roman guy. So opposite in that view.
I've always liked, I don't want to say medieval, but like it's something about swords and shields and bows
Yeah.
and shit that I'm just like I like more than just watching the modern day pull a gun out and you're dead. You know, like it's like it took a little bit of skill back in the day to actually kill somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what were your thoughts, man? Because actually, let's just give our rating right up front so people don't have to wait. I gave it an 8.2 out of 10.
I give it a 7.9. So we're right in the same sphere.
So for people, I think to me, the arguments that have been made for both sides are so super exaggerated, and I
Oh yeah,
think
my reasoning for rating it lower than a lot of people has nothing to do with like the culture war bullshit. It's from a pure film standpoint.
again we're anti-grifters here, so like we enjoy it for what it was. I didn't look as deep as like, you know, this not being real Greeks and
Yeah.
all that stuff. In the movie didn't bother me. I just wanted it to be a good movie, and it was. And it's a really good movie. I mean, anytime you give a movie a 7 out of 10, to me is really good. You had a great time. You understood, you know, everything. But it did have its issues. I think every movie has its issues, regardless of what people
Oh
want to
yeah.
say is perfect. But you know, for people to exaggerate, oh, if this was crap, it's not a great movie whatsoever, to the people who are like, oh, this is a masterpiece, I'm gonna go watch it 4 times. I think people have just like seen everybody talk bad about it and definitely want to be on the other side where they're exaggerating their rating, and then people are exaggerating their rating on the good side. People would just want to say, no,
Well,
it's horrible.
at the end of the day, it's like that former professional bowling player. I forget his name, but he went viral. He's like, whether you love me or whether you hated me, you watched. So, I mean, that's the Christopher Nolan story essentially. Whether you loved him or hated him, you were gonna watch.
I mean, you did send me the statistics on the box office numbers globally. It's
635 million already.
gonna probably trace a billion by the time this whole thing is done, is what they are
Yeah.
projecting. And it's because the people that are going to go see it for the second and third
Mhm.
and fourth time, because there are people like that on, you know, I run a football channel on the other end, and that's the only thing that flooded my timeline. It had nothing to do with football. It was all about people giving their opinions on the Odyssey. But there are some issues. One of the things that what was your favorite sequence in the movie? And then
Oh, the Cyclops. Oh my god. That was actually like terrifying, bro. That scared me more than any horror movie I've ever seen. It was so unsettling. And I don't understand anybody that had a problem with the sound design. I heard that. The sound design was incredible. It was just
it was in a
eerie. I mean, it was very loud, but it was good sound design in my opinion.
the only time I had a problem with it, like I told you, in the first 15 minutes, it was kind of hard to hear people, and you could.
Yeah.
It
But
was
the
a little weird.
Cyclops sequence,
Oh
oh
no,
my god,
that
when they stabbed him in the eye and he started to scream, that was incredible. And I saw it in Dolby Cinema, so the audio was just spectacular. That was an incredible scene.
yeah, I saw it in the same thing. And so the sound was super exaggerated and super loud, and yeah, it was unsettling. I do when they stabbed him in the eye, bro. So here's the thing about the whole Cyclops thing. Homie on an island on his own. He treated his sheep and stuff right. The man making cheese, eat his cheese, go to sleep, bro. That was his life. Then these motherfuckers come out of nowhere. Well, first of all, he ate one of the homies and just fell asleep immediately. He like, I sleepy now. I'm going to bed with the rest of these people in here. I felt bad for him when they stabbed him in the eyebrow. I was like, damn, man, I feel bad, bro.
Bro.
I
The Circe sequence was also I felt violated during that
yeah, that was
in the best way possible.
yeah. I think every single sequence had its best moments, except for the whirlpool with the rock monster. Because in the original it was the
That was my
Hydra.
dad's biggest complaint because we saw it together. He didn't like that
He,
sequence.
he didn't like it probably because the Hydra wasn't there.
Yeah.
It was a damn tentacle monster.
Yeah.
The barnacle monster, because that's really what it was. Barnacles on the side of the thing. Like, damn, we just get eaten by barnacles, bro. Like,
Yeah, bro.
I also, one of my gripes was with the whole sirens, where they weren't actually
Shown.
they weren't shown, even though it's an R-rated movie, because it's supposed to be half women, half bird, fucking singing people with their titties out. Like,
We're seeing dudes get eaten. You can show some titties, Nolan.
but why have the R rating? Because I don't think anything was worth the R rating in that whole movie.
I mean, I guess technically because it's classified as an R, but I mean, I would have gave it a PG-13 if I was in charge of how ratings work.
Yeah, they're supposed to be harpies. That's what the animal's called. But yeah, it's just like the Asian dude got up, jumped off the ship, bro. He said, "You know,
that's gonna be a reaction meme for years to come."
Well, it's like in Toy Story. The dude said, "Sid." His mom was like, "Sid, your Pop-Tarts are ready." He said, "Oh, right." And he got done. He didn't give a fuck about them toys no more, bro.
Derek Carr, bro. Sid from Toy Story.
Yeah, exactly. So Travis Scott obviously was one thing I didn't like. It was that shit was ass, bro.
I thought I told you this last night. I thought Matt Damon was underwhelming. I think he was severely miscast in that role.
I don't think he was underwhelming as much as you did, but I felt like
it felt so vanilla.
It did, and I felt like he was the right person to be in that role, but I didn't feel like Christopher Nolan did him justice on what his range really is as Odysseus.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So, and I didn't like, in the original, there wasn't like any huge fight at the end. Like once everybody found out it was Odysseus, everybody's like, "Oh shit, okay,
yeah.
Sorry, man." You know, they exaggerated a fucking big ass fight. Actually, what the fuck is his son's name? Why am I drawing a blank?
Tom Holland.
Temeclius, right? Temeclius?
Temeclius, something like that.
And one of the versions, this dude, he was like, "All right, go ahead, get your justice," right? And he took a spear and he planted the dude on the wall. I was like,
speaking of spears, and I have to say this, I'm not trying to be a grifter. It's not. It was just hilarious. The opening where Elliot Page gets impaled made me laugh my ass off, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you got this little dude running and then just gets fucking impaled.
It didn't. So the whole Elliot Page thing didn't bother me whatsoever. What did bother me is for Odysseus to be like, "That was one of my best warriors."
You're 5'2", 98 pounds.
Yeah. There's no way that the smallest soldier in your whole platoon is your best warrior. Like against, I mean, y'all going against Achilles and everybody. There's no way. There was no mention of Achilles, by the way, or Hector. You know, so that really bothered me a little bit. But
no Achilles was weird. I remember when Elliot Page was rumored to be playing Achilles, and I was like, stop.
Yeah, that would have been bad if they would have did that. Some of the costume designs were a little weird. Didn't bother me that the man-eating soldiers, like, it didn't bother me. I just didn't really move me. I thought that sequence was so rushed. You go and try to find food or resources, and then you end up in the woods, and then like some little dude starts screaming. Like,
it's weird because I feel like everything up until the beginning of the third act was fast paced and moved well, but the beginning of the third act, in reality, like when he gets back to Ithaca for the first time, that's why it comes down to a 7.9 for me, because the movie just came to a fucking grinding halt, man. The pacing was horrible. And then the final fight they inserted was just like, okay, 10 minutes done, bing bam. And you had a freaking, it felt like 4 hours. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but the beginning of the third act was so poorly paced, bro.
Yeah, and I felt like there's some things that could have been done to have given even more hope to the fact that he was there, like him not telling the blind man that it was actually him, and that, oh no, I'm just one of his soldiers. You know, like dude, he's not gonna say anything. Like,
Yeah.
but give the guy some hope of like saying that, oh shit, Odysseus is back. That's your man's that's been rocking out with you. The dog passing away when he saw him was a great touch. I like that moment. I thought that was cool. Like he held on until he got there, symbolizing that everybody should have done the same thing and actually had some hope.
Well, there's a version of the Odyssey where it ends like that. That's like the final sequence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, yeah. So we talked about. See, a lot of people get this whole thing confused with like the gods too, and it's just like what people have to understand. I wish they exaggerated more, because it was more like, are we going to show you some shit that's happening right now, and then we're going to go back in the past, and then we're going to show you some shit that happened. So like it cutting in and out. Sometimes the editing was a little weird. But it's kind of like you have to know the story. But I think a lot of people that didn't like it just didn't understand the fact that, you know, Agamemnon and the rest of those dudes, like they did not do good shit. Like this is why he was so conflicted, and they did the flashbacks in the end of like, we're just out here just killing random, and you know,
Agamemnon as Benny Safdie was a wild casting. I never would have expected that.
I'm
but
glad
he
they
did
didn't
pretty
show his face, because he looks like a bitch in real life.
good. He looks gay.
Yeah.
And he's one of my favorite movie directors.
But the way his face is shaped from his eyes down to fit that mask,
He directed my favorite movie of all time, A Good Time, or my second favorite movie of all time. So I'm a big Benny Safdie fan, but thank God they didn't remove his mask.
yeah, they only showed like the back of his head and his legs when he got shanked in the bed.
Yeah.
That's crazy how the greatest warrior ever got shanked by his wife. It's crazy.
You can't trust him, bro.
No. I mean, his thing was like, I got to sacrifice my daughter to show that, you know, I want the most, and you know, I'm able to do anything for the gods. I mean, that was his thing. But like morally, like your wife's not gonna be like, man, fuck the gods. Like,
Oh, and John Bernthal was literally just Frank Castle, bro.
yeah,
I'll tell you something about Odysseus, man.
yeah. So the whole Helena Troy thing, people don't really understand that, and they're like, well, I hate the fact that she hates her husband and that they went to save her. No, she left. I forget the dude's name. Oh my God, what's his name? Hold on, I don't want to give out the incorrect information. Helen of Troy leaves husband for what the fuck? He's got like a weird name. Paris. Paris. So she leaves Menelaus for Paris. Menelaus, for those that don't know, is the character that John Bernthal played. If you watch Troy, Paris was played by Orlando Bloom. But she had left to be with Paris. So she said, fuck Menelaus. Then one of the things in their moral code was they are going to go save a, you know, of course it's Agamemnon's brother. They'd be like, yeah, we're going to go get your bitch back. Like, this is what we're going to do. And everybody's going to listen to us and fucking do it. They ain't got no choice. That's really what the mission to go into Troy was. And they found out that the army was too strong. They couldn't break through the stone walls and all that. So then that's when they spent so much time making the horse to get inside, because they were just so much smarter than every other army. And they did their thing. It was all going to go get his woman back that left him for another man. So throughout the whole sequence of them being at the table and her face being scarred up and all that, she hates this motherfucker.
Yeah.
So for people that didn't understand that, because I saw some reviews, they're like, why would Helena Troy hate Menelaus? Isn't that her husband? Didn't they go and go get her? Well, you're missing the whole part. And that's when it's like, you're missing pieces of the story, man. Like,
Yeah.
And that's like a critical piece, because people are already on the fence about, having an African American woman play Helena Troy. But then on the other side of that is like, if you can at least explain what the fuck happened and the pretty much the whole reason why everybody got up to go fight this war, then you would have been things would have been understood in a different light. But I thought the costumes looked great. A lot of people thought that, of course, because they didn't talk in the way of the Spartans and Greek people, that it really took them out of like the era piece. But like, we're talking.
I will say, when I heard guys saying "fuck off," it did take me out of the story a little bit, because I'm like, really, "fuck off" is what we're going with.
Yeah, I thought a lot of people praise Tom Holland, but that dude has no range. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he doesn't have range, but with what he was given, he was fine.
I
thought
don't even.
Robert Pattinson stole the show.
I don't even think
As
he
he
was
always
fine.
does.
I thought it was below average. Like
Really?
that shit took me out of the movie sometimes.
Zendaya showed her only facial expression that she can make in all of her acting skills throughout the movie, just staring into the camera like she's angry at something. But Robert Pattinson stole the show, bro. He was the best actor in that movie.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite parts was again, for people that don't know, because going back to my original point, which I never got to, but the whole thing about Odysseus going out on this journey and doing, going through all this shit, it's because he's the one that was paying for pretty much his soldiers doing all this bad shit. So the gods are making him go through trials.
Yeah.
And they're trying to see if he was going to make it out of it as payback for what he did.
It's kind of similar to the 7 layers of hell in Dante's Inferno.
Don't say this word. No, I mean, it is true. It is very true.
I got a question though. To change gears a little bit, what other iconic stories would you like to see Nolan take a crack at? Obviously, I mean, Dante's Inferno I just brought up. That's one for me.
Well, I think
Blood Meridian, my favorite book of all time. I'd like to see him take a stab at.
I honestly don't want to see him do a horror movie quite yet.
He says he wants to do it.
I know he wants to do it, but like that shit didn't make me feel scared. None of that shit did. I mean,
there's never really been a horror movie that actually scared me though, so I don't even feel like I can judge it.
I'm not trying to be scared, but I'm at least trying to be unsettled. That's what I can
unsettled with the Cyclops a little bit.
I just thought I felt bad. I mean, I felt bad for the Cyclops the whole time. So
the last movie I watched that genuinely unsettled me was Hereditary, but it didn't scare me.
Yeah, Hereditary.
I can't think of a movie where I was like actually terrified.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question, because I feel like I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this. Like, I feel like when people do Robin Hood, they always do silly shit.
Yeah.
Or they just don't do it right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a slow-paced, start from the bones, work his way up to this dude being like the shit type of Robin Hood. I think the moments of like when Odysseus fired the arrow at the end and everybody, and he bing, bing with the string, that was such a pivotal moment. And the way that the whole shot was filmed, it was more important than him even shooting the fucking arrows through the axes.
Hey, if Nolan wants to do something a little bit more horror oriented and creepy, take a crack at 1984, bro.
Yeah. So I feel like things like shooting an apple off the head or splitting one arrow with another arrow, like those moments in Robin Hood would be really, really pivotal, and he would be really good at doing that. I don't know, some people might think that's silly, but like that story is as important to a lot of things as as other movies. I'm not saying it's not as impactful as the Odyssey, because this shit is is laid out the foundation for a lot of our action movies today. Um, I don't necessarily want to say this is a period piece, but man, I for some reason, and I know they're about to do a whole bunch of shit with the TV show, and they're doing they're filming something else right now, but I want to see him take a shot at a Lord of the Rings type of thing.
Bro, I was just thinking that.
So
that. I swear to God.
There's a game called The Third Age, where it's about similar characters to like Aragorn and Gimli and Legolas, and they're all in like those types, right? Those types of classes. But you meet these people on the journey, and you build your team up, and it's kind of like Final Fantasy, but it is a story about how their group was so integral to the story, and they were doing things behind the scenes that nobody, like the main story, didn't tell you, and they were just as integral to Frodo finding the ring. Like if he just took that and made that shit into a movie and made it 3.5 hours long, bro, I am seated. I think that would be a great movie for him to kind of, for people that didn't like the Odyssey, because you can see he does things practically, makes it look good. Only use CGI like really one time, which was the barnacle monster shit. And it looked ass. I'm gonna be honest with you. You could tell it was CGI because the rest of it was practical, and now that shit was ass. But that's what I would say. I mean, I don't know. You're gonna say Lord of the Rings, but
yeah, I mean, Lord of the Rings, Blood Meridian, 1984. I know a 1984 movie was made recently, but I mean, it wasn't good, so no one would probably nail it.
Yeah, I mean, what outside of horror? I mean, he's really done so many different things. I mean, space, futuristic, mind bending,
biopic.
I mean, unless he unless he wants to do medieval, which this is Greek mythology is just a step up of that. But like,
make a movie about the Crusades.
Well, if you did Dante's Inferno,
yeah,
that whole story was about how soldiers were blessed for the Crusades, and Dante made a sacrifice to save Beatrice, his wife. And then was sent to hell anyways to save her again, because the devil wanted Beatrice anyways. So he went through the 7 layers of hell and finally beat Satan or whatever. But like, yeah, that there was an anime that came out, and I encourage everybody, if you haven't seen it, it's like a little short anime on explaining, because you remember there was a Dante's Inferno game, which I thought was fucking great, but there was an anime put together of, I don't know if it was the beginning or like it kind of explained the story, but I remember there being like this brutal scene with like the Crusades and all that shit. And so everybody go watch this shit, because if Nolan can do an interpretation like that and really just like pull the, did you see an ounce of blood in this movie?
A little bit. I'm not remembering which scenes in particular, but it wasn't a lot.
If he, again, the R rating is questionable. We didn't even see that much blood. But if he really pulled the gloves off and just like be like, fuck it, this is a passion project. I need to get bloody. I need to get gritty. I need to get, you do a Dante's Inferno. I mean, you gotta have the bitches with the titties out and everything. Like, and he's gotta go full out. Like that's just what it is. That would be a great one to tackle horror.
Yeah.
To tackle a medieval piece and to tackle a brutal piece as well. And if he can kill that shit, bro, that might be his best movie of all time.
Speaking of his movies all time, where do you rank the Odyssey? Because I have it at 5, I believe. I have Memento, The Dark Knight, Interstellar, and Oppenheimer above it. So yeah, 5.
I would probably have it 6 because I'd have the Prestige in there too.
I haven't seen The Prestige.
Well,
so
yeah,
I need to
you
watch
haven't
that.
seen it, so I would agree with all those movies having it above it.
Yeah,
So I would have it at 6.
that's fair.
I mean,
think it's fair.
I think just people just
I
need to be
think
realistic, man.
I think anyone saying it's in his top 3 is just. I mean, I'm not going to insult you, but that's crazy to me.
I mean, you have to think about how many times he's broke something in your brain, right? Like
Yeah.
Interstellar broke your brain at certain points, and that movie's goated, man.
Well, it's also like you look at this movie and there's no signature Nolan. What's the phrase? There's something so Christopher Nolan about the ending of Interstellar, the Joker in The Dark Knight, Oppenheimer. What else? The
Well,
reveal at the
Interstellar
end.
with the 24-year shit.
Yeah, the reveal at the end in Memento where you see it was him doing it the entire time. I'm not going to spoil what I mean. I kind of just did, but whatever. You get what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
if you haven't seen that movie at this point in
Yeah,
time,
it's like 30 years old.
fuck, like, it's not
There's
spoilers.
all those movies have something that I don't think the Odyssey has.
I think the scene that they tried to do that and it just didn't nail it all the way across for me to even give a fuck. I'm gonna be honest, was the whole the undead in Hades scene.
Oh yeah, that didn't hit for me, especially with Elliot Page's little ass sitting there. I'm like, bro, this doesn't do it for me.
And to me, if you wanted to hit a little harder, when he asked Agamemnon, "How are you here?"
Yeah.
And then his little ass voice, "Well, man, I threw my daughter in the like the Peter Safdie or whatever the fuck his name is, like
Benny Safdie.
Benny Safdie. Like that shit didn't. They should have
I
altered
think
his
Robert
voice,
Pattinson should have been Agamemnon.
but they should have altered his voice. Like if you're gonna cover, if Benny Safdie was gonna have his face covered pretty much the whole time, and
He's a good actor and an amazing director, but that casting was just a little weird. I don't think it was horrible, but
if you would have just changed his voice to made it deeper and made it more commanding, because he's so commanding in the whole fucking. Even by the time he turned around and looked at homie, he knelt down, and then he gave him like a pity hug. Oh, thanks, man.
it's like if Batman sounded like Spider-Man. Like imagine seeing Batman and he has Spider-Man's voice. The entire effect of the mask is just gone.
Someone get these beggars out of here.
Yo, he was so good, bro. Robert Pattinson. I'm gonna say this because I said this privately after we ended the last episode. Outside of the legends who are on their way out and dying, of the actors in their prime right now, Robert Pattinson is the best in the fucking world, bro. And I'm not joking about that. He is number one.
Yeah.
He did The Batman. He did Tenet. He's doing Dune later this year. You got the primetime movie he's playing Chris Hansen. He's got the Batman Part 2 coming out next year. This dude is goated right now, bro.
Oh, man. I mean,
He did Good Time, one of my favorite movies ever, directed by Benny Safdie. Check it out if you haven't.
He's been really good, man. He and just the whole, I think like his whole the no aura that he had from Twilight to him playing in that Lighthouse movie.
Oh my god, The Lighthouse. That movie's incredible too, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like
with freaking Norman Osborn.
You know the dude that's doing all the werewolf and Nosferatu?
Mm-hmm.
They need to get my man. They need to get my man Robert Pattinson to play like Frankenstein or some shit, bro.
That could be interesting.
I could see him killing that shit, or the Creature of the Black Lagoon. I mean, I don't know what direction he's gonna go, but obviously he's building a universe that's gonna lead up to something.
Yeah,
because I can't wait
to see him play Dracula, not Nosferatu, Dracula.
Or maybe at the end they do. I would, to be honest, let's take a step back. If they do another Van Helsing in that fucking universe, Robert Pattinson would kill that shit.
Yeah, he's the best in the world right now, bro.
Yeah. All right. Well, got through that, man. 8.2 out of 10 for me. 7.9. People just enjoy the fucking movie for what it is. God damn, this story is how many years old? Like,
about as old as Mitch McConnell. Get these beggars out of here.
Get these beggars out of here. Yo.
Someone tweeted, they better not get Robert Pattinson to play a racist character.
Oh, I know. He'd be the most hated man in the world, bro.
Imagine Robert Pattinson as Adam Driver's role in The Black Klansman. It's over, bro. You ever seen that movie?
Nah, I haven't, but I've heard.
Incredible, bro. Incredible.